Hey guys, welcome back to round 10 of Super Rugby AU, and it is the last round before we get into the semi-finals. And there's still big things to actually happen when you get to that third place of the teams, because remember, it's the top three teams in the standings that will go through to the semi-finals and then into the final. The team at the top, which is the Reds, is just automatically going to the final. So in this game, the Force versus the Reds, they are already in the place. Both of them are already in a place in the semi-final and the finals. The Force, they are third, but the Rebels can still take their spot if the Force does end up losing this game and the Rebels does beat the Waratahs in that game on Sunday. They can actually go on top for this one. The Force, they are 3 from 7 so far this season. They beat the Waratahs last week by 1 point. The week before, they beat the Rebels by 1 point as well. So they've had a lot of close margins so far this season. The Reds more comfortable, 7 from 7 this season, undefeated. They had a bye last weekend, and the week before that, they beat the Brumbies by 2 points. So they are in a good position to actually go ahead and win this game again. They didn't even pick a second team for this game either. When you do go earlier into this year, the Reds, they beat the Force by 7 points, so it was a close game that time as well. Going into the two teams, both sides only make 2 changes to their starting side. Oh wait, the Force make 3 changes to their starting side. The third one is Greg Holmes in the front row. He was crucial last week off of the bench for their team to actually snatch the victory there. Kaitu'u, he continues at number 2. Every week he is just playing a very solid game for them. Tom Robertson as well in good form for his new side as well. Futa Hika, he continues for the Reds at number 1. Paenga Amosa at number 2 and Tupo at number 3. Very good front row for the Reds there. The Force might have a big challenge up ahead because the Reds have been dominating the scrums. When we do get to the second row, Angus Scott Young, he moves from 6 to number 4. That is to make space for the new or the regular captain. New captain for this year is Liam Wright. Angus Scott Young and Salakai Aloto, that's the combination in 4 and 5. Salakai Aloto, I have to say, he hasn't been in the best of form this season. Usually he's much busier. Jeremy Thrush, Tamani, both of them have been impressing so far in their combination since they started it earlier this year. Liam Wright, like I said, he's back in the starting team up against a guy like Tim Anstey, who's also been in good form for the Force. He's won a couple of games for them as well. Fraser McWright at number 7 versus Kane Koteka. Both of them gonna be busy at breakdown time. Harry Wilson versus Breinhard Stander. Similar type of number 8s. All number 8s in Australian rugby basically play the same type of game, and that is taking the ball and bashing into players. Harry Wilson, he's a bit quicker probably. He has an offloading game as well, but out of the two number 8s there, I think Stander is probably in a bit better form. Then we get to number 9. It's a good competition there because it's two guys that are busy on the field. They're very quick number 9s as well. Look for them to slip through and get their own tries as well. Both McDermott and Kubeli are guys that like scoring their own tries, like stepping as well, and they are playmakers in their own rights. Then we have James O'Connor, who has been leading the team very well. Australia is in a good position to have 2 veteran number 10s in very good form at this stage with O'Connor and Tuamua. Both of them are in good form so far, and James O'Connor, I think, just a little bit better at this stage. He'll probably start for the Wallabies later this year. Miotti, talk about a guy that is in form at this stage. He's won a couple of games for the Force in this last couple of weeks as well, with penalties or conversions at the end of the game. So he's kind of becoming that Iceman for them. Stewart, the hard tackler at number 12, up against Godwin, the captain for the Force. Since he's taken over the captaincy, they've won a couple of games as well. Paisami at number 13, hard runner for them, up against Kuridrani. Both of them similar hard runners in the side. Paisami, very quick guy if he does get the ball. Out wide, there's a change for both sides on the wing. Pulu, he comes back from his injury. Olawafela, the Englishman, he continues at 11. He's been impressive so far. Daigunu at number 11, also getting a start this week again. He's been on the bench a couple of weeks before. Pataya continues at number 14, always a threat wherever he plays on the park. If he gets a hand through after breaking the line, there's usually a try to the guy next to him or for himself. Bryce Hegarty continues at number 15, and then a big name comes back for the Force in an important time, because you need some of that experience in a game like this, which can be treated as a final for the Force. Rob Kearney, the Irishman, he's back at number 15. Then at the bench, there's a couple of changes for both teams. Medrano, he drops to the bench this week. Reddy, Wagner, and Medrano, very strong front row that they can bring on there. Malfi, Asiata, and Nongor, but that front row has also been doing their thing. But I think the Force front row might be a little bit stronger than the front row of the Reds on their bench. Ryan Smith on number 19 versus Macaulay, Lee Warner, and Seru Uru. Both of them very, very busy guys when they do get onto the park. Both number 9s, Ian Pryor and Kalani Thomas. Thomas being very young, but Pryor being the veteran that can be a guy that can close out the game quite well for you, just like a guy like Kahui. And that is something that the Force does have to their favor. They have a couple of experienced guys that they can end off the game with, probably a bit more experience than that Reds team. Then Josh Fluke, also a young guy. Drew Sese, also a young guy for the Reds. McGregor, he's been holding down the fort quite well at number 15 so far this season, or that couple of games where Carney missed it. But Carney is probably a little bit better on defense, so McGregor can close out the game if they do need a try or two. Guys, if you do make a prediction here, it is a difficult one because it is a must win for the Force, meaning they'll probably be up for it and play quite well. But the Reds, they missed last week and they will want to close out the season with an undefeated streak. And they also didn't change their side. It's still their starting team. No big changes there. So I think the Reds to win this one close, actually, by 5 points. Let me know your prediction down in the comments below. Also, check out these videos next to me. Hit the subscribe button if you do like the channel. And then I'll see you for the next one. Cheers.